7 ways to destroy your enemy without fighting him. Stoicism. Have you ever experienced anger, resentment, or a desire for revenge toward someone who has hurt you? Have you longed to be able to cause them the same suffering they inflicted on you? You're not alone. It happens to all of us. To a greater or lesser extent, we all have enemies or rivals who have led us to waste time and effort devising revenge or imagining how we could humiliate them or cause them pain. And it is normal to feel the desire for retaliation when we have been deeply hurt, regardless of the consequences or to whom our thirst for revenge is directed, whether it's rivals, competitors, critics, or even our friends or family. But did you know that there's a better way to deal with your enemies? A way that does not involve fighting with violence or aggression, but rather with wisdom, virtue, and self-control. By the end of this video, you will have acquired all the necessary tools to defeat your enemies without a hand-to-hand confrontation, enriching your life and growing in wisdom. You may think that it's not easy to maintain self-control when that feeling of anger, resentment, and humiliation invades you. But it is possible, and it is a way that not only destroys your enemies but also transforms you into a better person, freeing you from negative emotions and making you live in harmony with yourself, with others, and with nature. This is the way of Stoicism. It teaches us that the only thing that is truly in our control are our own judgments, opinions, and actions, and that everything else is external and subject to change. Therefore, we must focus on what we can control and accept what we can't, without letting it disturb our peace of mind. Stoicism is not about being passive or indifferent to life's difficulties. It is an active and rational philosophy that allows us to live in harmony with our nature and reason. This philosophy gives us the tools to face any challenge, obstacle, or adversity with courage, wisdom, and dignity. So how can Stoicism help us destroy our enemies without fighting, without physical or collateral damage? Here's the answer. By opening your understanding to face it with courage and taking advantage of all the lessons that conflict will give you. Here are 7 ways to destroy your enemies based on the teachings of the Stoic philosophers. Number 1. Realize that your enemy really isn't. Look at it from another perspective. Someone like your teacher in the quest to understand how to defeat adversaries. Without resorting to physical conflict, recognize that your enemy will serve you as a teacher in the school of life. Stop seeing it as an evil force. Consider your adversary as a catalyst for your growth, challenging your limits, revealing your weaknesses, and bringing your vices to the surface. Look at your enemy as a mirror where you are reflected, and you can see the areas where you need to improve. Marcus Aurelius, the eminent Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, explained that the best way to take revenge is not to convert or look like the evildoer. These words of wisdom underscore that the important thing is to rise above rancor and cultivate virtues in response to adversity. Marcus Aurelius urges us to transform obstacles into opportunities. It reminds us that there are no impediments, that there is nothing standing in the way of our actions or our path. What you need to do is use challenges as stepping stones to your personal and moral development. Think. Rather than succumbing to anger or resentment, it is more helpful to accept the adversities posed by your enemy as a means of building resilience, strength, and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius encourages self-reflection and advises that whenever you see faults in someone, you should first look for and recognize your imperfections by asking yourself the following question: what is my fault that most resembles the one I'm about to criticize? Remember, before judging others, to encourage humility and empathy. Instead of harboring hatred or seeking revenge against your enemy, consider expressing gratitude for the valuable lessons it gives you. Express your goodwill, wish him well, and explore the possibility of reconciliation. Change your perspective. Don't see your enemy as a threat, but as a unique gift, a blessing that propels you towards self-discovery and personal evolution. Adopting this Stoic attitude of understanding will not only make you wiser, but your enemies will recognize it and be disarmed of its negative influence. The path to destroying your enemy without resorting to physical conflict is paved with the wisdom gained from treating adversity as a guiding teacher on your journey to becoming a better person. Number 2, realize that your enemy is not the cause of your suffering but your judgment in seeking to dismantle your enemy's power without resorting to physical confrontation. You must understand that your adversary has no power. His only power is the power you give him. Your enemy doesn't directly inject anger, sadness, or fear into you. It's your interpretation of their actions, your thought processes, and your reactions that shape your emotional responses. Your enemy then functions as a mirror that reflects the inner landscape of your mind and your emotions, illuminating the areas where your judgments are skewed, where irrationality and emotional reactivity govern your thoughts. In this context, your adversary serves as a catalyst, revealing patterns of unrealistic expectations and highlighting the deep-seated attachments and aversions you have toward external circumstances. The thought of Epictetus, one of the main representatives of the Stoic school, is characterized by defending a life in accordance with reason and virtue, without letting oneself be carried away by passions or external circumstances. Epictetus wrote several treatises on ethics, physics, and logic. Among them, the Enchiridion stands out, a practical manual of advice where he encapsulated the idea that it is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments about them. It is the lens through which you perceive external events that can disturb your peace of mind. It's how you interpret them that shapes your emotional response. It is our views that can disturb us, not the facts themselves. Stoic philosophy urges people to recognize that their perceptions and interpretations play a critical role in determining their emotional states by understanding that their enemy is not the sole instigator of their confusion, but rather a catalyst for their own judgments. This catalyst will allow you to reshape your reactions and cultivate emotional resilience. Epictetus further urges people to remember that insults and abuses are part of the interpretation and judgment placed on these actions. This requires a profound change of perspective. We must stop attributing blame to the outside world. We must take responsibility for our own interpretations and emotional responses rather than directing blame, complaint, or resentment toward the enemy. Embarking on the transformative journey of self-examination, challenging assumptions, scrutinizing judgments, and striving to change our perspective rather than perceiving the enemy as a source of pain, misery, or fear, and recognizing them as the path will lead us to deep self-awareness, wisdom, joy, and courage. In this paradigm, your enemy becomes an unwitting guide who leads you down the path of inner freedom and detachment from circumstances beyond your control, recognizing that your judgments are the key to your emotional state. Your adversary will then become the stimulus that empowers you to break the chains of suffering and embrace the profound liberation that comes with a change of perspective. Number 3, understand your enemy, the primary strategy for neutralizing it without resorting to physical conflict is to deepen understanding. This involves understanding the reasons behind your adversary, discerning their desires, and unraveling the intricacies of their thought processes. The key lies in perceiving them for what they really are, not through the lens of imagination or preconceived notions. By cultivating a deep understanding of your enemy, you gain the ability to navigate potential conflicts judiciously. This insight allows you to preemptively discern their movements, exploit their vulnerabilities, and steer clear of unnecessary confrontations. And deepening their mindset allows you to unveil their humanity. You will be able to witness their imperfections and internal struggles. This understanding dismantles the simplistic notion that they are inherently evil, transforming them into individuals who may be wrong rather than malevolent, flawed rather than monstrous, and fundamentally similar to you rather than different. Understanding your enemy also offers a mirror of your own psyche. It reveals the triggers of your anger, the threats to your ego, and the challenges to your values. By scrutinizing your reactions and motivations, you embark on a journey of self-discovery. This introspective process allows you to learn from your mistakes, refine your character, and nurture the growth of wisdom within yourself. Seneca succinctly summed up this transformative approach. The best way to defeat an enemy is to make him your friend. This aphorism transcends the conventional understanding of defeating an adversary through force, urging individuals to explore the transformative power of turning an enemy into an ally. Such a conversion is not simply an external change, but an internal metamorphosis that requires a deep understanding of the motives and perspectives of both parties. By understanding your enemy, you can also understand yourself. You can examine your own motives, actions, and consequences. You can learn from your mistakes, improve your character, and grow your wisdom. Number 4, ignore your enemies. The fourth strategy is the art of willful ignorance. It means making a conscious decision to divert attention from your adversary, choosing not to acknowledge their words, actions, or their own presence. That means treating them as if they go unnoticed. The act of ignoring the enemy is a formidable tactic. It strips you of the satisfaction that often accompanies provocation, harm, or influence. By demonstrating indifference to their attempts, you send them a powerful message that they have no influence over your emotions, actions, or well-being. Not only does this hinder their reactions, it sends them the clear message that their efforts are futile and irrelevant. Remember, the act of ignoring your enemy empowers you to redirect your focus to what really matters in your life. And by avoiding distractions that might present an attack from your adversary, you contribute to your personal growth. This deliberate change allows you to transcend the negativity associated with conflict and invest your time and efforts in activities that enrich your life. Living according to the present moment becomes a crucial aspect of this strategy. By ignoring your enemy, in this way you create a mental and emotional space to appreciate the positive aspects of your life. Foster a mindset of gratitude. This in turn allows you to prepare for the future with a clear perspective and without stress. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy, as Marcus Aurelius said. This sums up the essence of this approach. This maxim encourages a way out of the cycle of retaliation and negativity, urging individuals to rise above the impulse to mirror the actions of their adversaries by choosing a path of willful ignorance. This is a shield that will strengthen you by protecting you from the effects of resentment and hatred. In addition, ignoring your enemy will allow you to reach a higher level of resilience and wisdom. You will be able to focus on what matters to you, what brings you joy, and what makes you better. You can pursue your goals, cultivate your virtues, and enjoy your life. You can live in the present, appreciate the good, and prepare for the future. Number 5, practice forgiveness. This doesn't mean justifying someone's actions, but freeing yourself from the emotional burden. Sometimes forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Consider whether you can forgive the person who hurt you. Forgiving your enemy is a transformative strategy that involves the formidable power of forgiveness. This transcendent act encompasses letting go of resentment, letting go of grudges, and relinquishing any lingering desire for revenge. Forgiveness is an elevation of consciousness that involves accepting the reality of what happened, understanding the underlying reasons, and ultimately going beyond it by freeing yourself from the chains of revenge for wrongs received. Forgiving your enemy is akin to unburdening yourself of the weight of hatred, neutralizing the poison of anger, and freeing your spirit from the trap of bitterness. It is a process that not only heals the wounds inflicted by animosity, but also facilitates the restoration of inner peace, allowing you to regain your emotional and mental balance. In addition, forgiveness opens the door to the possibility of reconciliation, cooperation, or even the emergence of an unexpected friendship. To forgive is to embark on a journey of personal empowerment. This transformative act is not a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it is a testament to your strength, generosity, and nobility. It shows that you are not a slave to your emotions, but a master of reason, able to transcend the primal impulse of revenge. It shows that you are not a victim trapped by circumstances, but a conscious creator of your destiny, choosing the path of healing and growth. The revered Stoic master Marcus Aurelius summed up the essence of forgiveness in his profound words: "Forgiveness is better than revenge because it is the sign of a kind nature, but revenge is a symbol of a savage nature." This wisdom accentuates the transformative power of forgiveness by highlighting it as a manifestation of a kind and enlightened character. Choosing forgiveness over revenge is not simply a tactical decision, but a reflection of the inner strength that comes from transcending basic instincts and embracing the higher virtues of compassion and understanding. By forgiving your enemy, you demonstrate your strength, your generosity, and your nobility. You will prove that you are not a slave to your emotions, nor a victim of your circumstances, but a creator of your destiny. You will express to the world that you are not a follower of the crowd, but a leader to follow. Number 6. Outsmart them. In the intricate dance of dismantling enmity, the sixth strategic way is the art of outwitting your adversary. This involves harnessing your intelligence, creativity, and cunning to navigate the complexities of conflict and emerge victorious through the power of ingenuity. Outwitting your enemy is a testament to foresight, allowing you to dodge unnecessary risks, overcome formidable obstacles, and steer toward outcomes that align with your goals. This strategic approach not only protects you from potential pitfalls, but positions you as a chessboard master. Anticipate movements delicately. In addition, the element of surprise, confusion, or admiration that accompanies outwitting your opponent can elicit respect, admiration, or even a bit of uneasiness. Demonstrating intellectual prowess in the face of adversity serves as a showcase of competence, ingenuity, and excellence. It's a proclamation that transcends mere tactical victories, establishing you as a sage navigating the intricate tapestry of the conflict. This approach communicates that you are not a passive observer, but an active participant, strategically maneuvering the pieces to achieve the desired outcomes. Cicero, the honorable Stoic lawyer, summed up the essence of this approach with his eternal wisdom. The ability of the sage is to transmute everything that happens in order to put it in his favor. This sage advice fosters a perspective that transcends immediate circumstances, urging people to transform challenges into opportunities and adversities into stepping stones to progress. In essence, being more cunning makes you a manifestation of wisdom, turning the tide of the conflict in your favor and showing the resilience of the human spirit by outwitting your enemy can avoid unnecessary risks, overcome difficult obstacles, and achieve desirable results. You can also surprise your opponent, confuse them, or impress them. You can make them respect you, admire you, or fear you by outwitting your enemy. You can also demonstrate your competence, your ingenuity, and your excellence. You can prove that you are not a fool but a wise man, that you are not a pawn but a player. You can prove that you are not a loser but a winner. Number 7. Love your enemies. The seventh and final strategy is to harness the transformative power of love. This involves deploying kindness, compassion, and benevolence as instruments of change. It is a paradigm-shifting approach that transcends conventional notions of conflict resolution, urging people to desire good for their adversaries, engage in benevolent actions, and actively contribute to their personal growth. Look at your enemy as an alchemical process that will give you the potential to metamorphose their mood, their understanding, heal their wounds, and even guide them toward a path of redemption. This act of love becomes a profound journey of self-elevation, self-enrichment, and self-enlightenment. By choosing love over conflict, you not only impact your adversary, but you also rise to a higher plane of conscience and moral strength. The transformative power of love extends beyond the realm of interpersonal dynamics. It is a force that has the capacity to transform adversaries into friends, opponents into allies, and conflicts into opportunities for collaboration. Through the genuine expression of love, you foster an environment where relationships can be repaired, alliances can be formed, and partnerships can flourish. By choosing love as a response to animosity, you also reaffirm your own humanity, divinity, and inherent beauty. It's a statement that you're not a purveyor of hate, but a harbinger of love. This act shows that you rise above the baser instincts by embodying a divine quality that transcends beyond conflict. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, summed up this transformative approach with his timeless wisdom. The best way to get revenge is by loving your enemy and realizing that you are not a part of the problem, but an integral component of the solution. This profound statement challenges the notion of revenge as a solution by urging individuals to rise above the cycle of hatred and emulate a higher standard of conduct, one that is rooted in love and compassion. By loving your enemy, you can also express your humanity, your divinity, and your beauty. You can show that you are not a hater, but a lover, that you are not a beast, but a god, that you are not part of the problem, but part of the solution. By embracing these 7 transformative ways of dissolving enmity without resorting to physical combat, Stoic philosophy offers a profound roadmap not only to overcome external adversaries, but more importantly, to conquer internal enemies within oneself. By following these strategies, you will achieve success. Not only will you destroy your enemies, but also the false constructs of ego, pride, and ignorance that envelop your authentic and wonderful self. The essence of Stoicism paves the way for the emergence of the best version of yourself through the deliberate choices to understand, ignore, forgive, mock, and ultimately love, to dismantle the barriers that hinder your connection to virtue, wisdom, and happiness. Remember that revenge doesn't always bring satisfaction and can perpetuate a cycle of pain. Focus on your own growth and well-being. Look for constructive ways to deal with your emotions. Stoicism is the way to achieve the life of peace you want and deserve. We hope these teachings resonate within you. Leave us your comments. Don't hesitate to share your story. Thank you for your attention. If you liked the video, please like us and join our community by subscribing to the channel.